Welcome to Lesson 2E, Adiabatic Isentropic Duct Flow Equations. In this lesson, we'll develop the equations that we can use to analyze steady 1D adiabatic isentropic flow of an ideal gas in a variable area duct. And we'll discuss some of the advantages of using ratios. I'll also do an example problem. Consider as typical flow from a large tank. This can be just a nozzle as shown, or it can be a converging-diverging nozzle. Upstream we have properties H0, T0, P0, etc. And the flow accelerates from the tank as it moves through this duct, perhaps reaching sonic conditions at the throat if back pressure PB is small enough compared to P0. The main equation for this kind of flow is that H0, the stagnation-specific enthalpy, is constant, since we're assuming well-insulated adiabatic flow here. And recall that H0 is H plus speed v squared over 2. For an ideal gas, H equals CPT and H0 equal CPT0. So this equation becomes CPT0 equals CPT plus v squared over 2. And dividing through by CP, we have T0 equal T plus v squared over 2CP. But recall for an ideal gas, Cp is R gamma over gamma minus 1. Plugging this in here, we have T0 equal T plus V squared gamma minus 1 over 2 gamma R. And I'll do a little trick here, multiplying and dividing by T, so that we recognize gamma RT as A squared. And this V squared combined with this A squared gives us Mach number squared. Thus, T0 is equal to T plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared T, or finally dividing by T, T0 over T is 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared. I'll call this equation 1, and we thus see a relationship between stagnation temperature T0 and actual temperature T, or static temperature T, with Mach number. We'll call this equation 1, and this will be a useful equation, the ratio of T0 to T as a function of Mach number. Recall our isentropic relationships. For example, P2 over P1 is T2 over T1 to the gamma over gamma minus 1, and we can set P2 to be P0, the stagnation pressure, and we'll set P1 is equal to P somewhere in our flow. Thus, P0 over P is equal to T0 over T, since we'll do the same thing with temperatures, raised to the same exponent we had over here. Now let's apply equation 1, where we have an expression for T0 over T. We get P0 over P equal 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared raised to the gamma over gamma minus 1. Also a useful equation, which I'll call 2. Similarly for density, rho 2 over rho 1, as you may recall, is T2 over T1 raised to the 1 over gamma minus 1. And if we do the same kind of algebra we just did, using rho 0 for rho 2 and rho in general for rho 1, we get rho 0 over rho equal 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 m squared raised to the 1 over gamma minus 1. I'll call this equation 3. Now let's return to our converging nozzle case, where we have a large tank and a nozzle. Of course, we have stagnation properties here, P0, T0, H0, etc., with back pressure PB. Suppose PB is small enough that we achieve sonic conditions at the exit plane. In other words, m equal 1 there, and this area, the cross-sectional area, equal A star. Now let's consider some other location in the flow, which we'll just define as temperature, pressure, density, etc. Our equation 1 is repeated here, and this applies anywhere in this flow. So let's apply it at the exit plane, where we have critical or sonic conditions, namely m equal 1, and recall that we used superscript asterisk to indicate these critical conditions. So at the exit plane, T0 over T star is 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2 times 1 squared, or 1, and a little bit of algebra shows this to be gamma plus 1 over 2. So T0 over T star is gamma plus 1 over 2. or most people like to write this as the reciprocal. T star over T naught is 2 over gamma plus 1. This is called the critical ratio of temperature, the ratio of critical temperature to T naught. Similarly, for pressure, the critical ratio is 2 over gamma plus 1 to the gamma over gamma minus 1 exponent, which you can see as T star over T naught raised to this exponent. And we can do the same for density. Rho star over rho naught is 2 over gamma plus 1 to the 1 over gamma minus 1. This is the critical density ratio.
Hey Doc, what happens if there is no upstream pressure tank? For example, what if the flow is driven by some kind of compressor instead?
Great question, Arlo. It turns out that we can still define T naught, P naught, etc. because they are fluid properties. And we can use them in our analysis of these kinds of flows, even if they do not exist in an upstream stagnation tank. These equations still apply, even if P naught and rho naught do not exist anywhere in the flow.
Awesome, Doc. Thanks.
You're welcome, Arlo. Now let's do an example problem. Here we have air flowing through a converging duct. I give V1 and M1 at some location 1 in the flow. We want to calculate the critical speed of sound, A star, at this location. We assume this problem is steady, it's an ideal gas, we're using the 1D approximation, it's adiabatic and isentropic. Thus these equations are useful to us. I'll solve this 2 ways. Method A is to use this equation, which we can solve for the characteristic Mach number M star, here with gamma equal 1.40 for air, and our Mach number M1 is 0.500, and I'll call this M star 1 actually. M star 1 is different than M1, and to 5 digits it's 0.53452. Then, since we know by definition M1 star is actual speed over critical speed of sound, A1 star, which we can solve for A1 star, which is V1 over M star 1, or 200 meters per second over 0.53452, which gives us 374.17 meters per second. Thus A1 star to 3 digits is 374 meters per second. Method B is what I'll call clever use of ratios, and I'll just comment here that ratios are extremely useful. I'll start with this equation for A star, and then manipulate by writing this as gamma RT, T star over T naught over T. You can see that since the T's cancel and the T naughts cancel, this is the same equation, but we write it in terms of these ratios. Well, this grouping of terms is A squared, T star over T naught is 2 over gamma plus 1, and T naught over T is 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2, M squared. Well, the A squared can come outside the square root, giving us A, square root 2 over gamma plus 1, 1 plus gamma minus 1 over 2, M squared. Well, we don't know A, but we do know that A equal V over M. So finally, A star, and I'll put our subscript 1 at this location, is V1 over M1 times this square root term, and I'll use capital M1 instead of M since we're dealing with 0.1. And this is our equation for A1 star. We plug in gamma, M1, and V1 since all those variables are known, and we get 374 meters per second, which agrees with our previous calculation. It's always nice when we do 2 different techniques and get the same answer. And I want to stress this clever use of ratios. Since we have most of our equations as ratios, you multiply and divide by T naught or by T, etc. to get these in the right form where we can use our equations. Keep that in mind, and we'll do that more often in the future.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.
1, 2, 3. That's all there is to it.